Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well today. Kevin Baylor, CTO and Managing Partner of Reliance IT. And as published, we were going to go ahead and run through Microsoft Teams a little bit. We'll be talking about some of the basics of Teams. We'll get into some of the little add-ons that is in Teams. And we'll do a demo for you as well by linking into SharePoint, Power BI, and some of the other advanced features of Teams. This is our demo environment for Teams. As you can see, there's a lot going on in here. And this is the web version of Teams. Looks very similar to the desktop version. The mobile version, of course, it's going to look a little bit different, but still act the same functionality. One of the first things that you want to do in a Teams is you want to be able to go ahead and actually create a team. So how do you do that? Down here at the bottom. And what is a team? A team is essentially just a group of people getting together, talking about a topic. All right, so we've got some teams already created. Simple way to have a chat is to hop in one of these channels. So this is your team, and these are different channels. These channels are basically geared on topics. We can go down here and we can say, and we're going to post in this channel. Simply anybody in this channel is going to see that. They can respond and carry on a conversation. If they reply, it's going to stay in the same thread. Otherwise, if they answer down here, it's going to create a new conversation. If you have a group that you work with often or a channel, you could pin that channel or team, and it would then remain up at the top for your ease of use and quick access. Very similar to your favorites in Outlook. But let's hop over here. And so we can carry on an individual conversation with Alex. Alex has posted a Word document that we've been working on. But I need to call Alex about this. I can simply hit the call button and give Alex a call from here or anybody in my contact list. Or I can call Alex directly from in the chat. Since we know Alex is probably busy, we're just going to go ahead and hang up. Again, these are simple ways to communicate with your peers, your colleagues, management, clients, anybody that you have available within your team's organization. This isn't limited to remote workforce. This could be inter-office communication. This could be between different offices, whether you're sitting in Sarasota and you need to communicate to Michigan, or you need to communicate to Shanghai. Anybody in your team's organization is going to be able to easily communicate with you, share files, and have a central place for collaboration. So in here, in our leadership teams, one of the things that we want to look at is some of the additional capabilities. Up here, we've got our files. which is where your files are going to be stored for that team that you're working on. Anything that's been posted is going to be kept in here for that team. And again, we do appreciate Microsoft throttling their environment to keep everybody up and running, albeit a little bit slower than normal, but it's something that has to be done at this time. There are a few features as we go through this that you'll see that Microsoft has made notes, such as running OneNote through Teams. OneNote needs to be used online, not with your local app, just due to some of the features that Microsoft is throttling at this time. In here, in our HR leadership team, under the events channel, we've got a Q&A meeting planner. What this is using the add-in for the planner. And in OneNote, as you can see here, as I just mentioned, this is being done currently due to COVID-19 by Microsoft. They are limiting and throttling some features. So if we wanted to work with this real time, we'd need to go to OneNote on the web. But let's take a look at what's going on in training over here. In the training channel, we have a new hire handbook. This new hire handbook out here is going to be available for anybody to access that's in this channel. And it's simply a PowerPoint slide or PowerPoint presentation. And how did they get that here? They simply went up here and they went to add in a tab, selected the proper application. In this case, it would have been a PowerPoint. And then you give the details of the PowerPoint, whether it's a new PowerPoint, an existing PowerPoint. Very simple and very easy to add additional tabs to the top, regardless of SharePoint, PowerPoint, PDFs, Planner, Power BI, Excel. Simple Excel sheet that the training channel can work from. Again, anybody in this channel can work on this, collaborating on a single file in multiple locations. So I see somebody asked about group calls. Let's circle back to that real quick. So we'll go to calls. I would say new group if I'm creating a new group. You can create the group and add individuals. Or I can simply add individual people. Fortunately, Lynn's not available, so we can't make a call with her and then add another individual. But you've got multiple ways that you can do those group calls. We can also go back here into team. And if you needed to add somebody to this team, you can go in and add the member from here, edit the team. If you no longer need to be in the team, you can leave the team from here as well. And again, some of these do depend on the permissions that you have within that team. In Outlook, there is I see another question out here. Go ahead and publish these questions just so folks can see some of the questions coming through. In Outlook, there is an add-in for the teams You'd create it just like you would any other meeting, and we'll be getting to the meetings here in just a second. For sake of time, since the demo environment's running a little slower than I would like, we will skip a couple of the demos. But I do want to show you a couple of things in here as well. Let me go to ACC. As you see, there's not a whole lot going in RFP and proposals. Why don't we start something? We can add a tab. And we want to add a SharePoint document library. This is a great way to easily share files or access files through a Teams environment. You can still obviously get to this through SharePoint. All this is doing is this is just bringing the SharePoint link accessible into your Teams channel. Very quick and easily, you now have access to that SharePoint library. We went ahead and open it up in SharePoint. We can do that as well. It's going to take us right to the SharePoint library site. Here it is in Teams. Here it is in SharePoint. Let's go down here to our Market 8 project. And what I want to show you is something that does take a little bit of programming and configuration. But in our project team here, we got this R&D channel. And this R&D channel has put together a Power BI app. As you can see, I've got some coding going on. They're sharing Word and Excel files back and forth. But the Power BI, really what this is a data aggregator. And it's taking data from different locations. This Power BI app has already been developed. But this is a great way to get sales information, show KPIs, show inventory, whether it's pulling information from an ERP, from multiple Excel files, whatever the case may be. So we've got all these stats that are going on in here. And down at the bottom, we have additional tabs. So this here is our operations analysis. We can hop over and take a look at, see what the website analysis is for this R&D channel. All right, so we have somebody out here asking, what if you're in another country and what channel does it use? Can you still call? So yes, you can still make calls. I mean, these are essentially internet calls. You can reach out and call anyone that is in your team's organization, Christina. You could be on your desktop. and make a call, and that recipient could receive it on their Teams mobile app on their phone. It really is location independent. Obviously, it's going to depend on the internet. If you're calling from Starbucks on a hotspot, you may have some voice call quality issues, but it does not really care what the country is. Your only restrictions would be is if the internet service provider of that location may be blocking some protocols. But as Teams and the VoIP calls become more and more standard in our day-to-day lives, we see that less and less. All right, so as you can see, there's a lot of fancy things that you can do with this. You've got project planners, you can create Word files, Excel files. This is basically a blank slate. Feel free to create and design what fits your organization and the different departments in your organization. There are a few other things that I wanted to bring up and show you on this as well, but being that we were being throttled here a little bit on this, I did not want to take too much time getting too far into the weeds. As I said, I will publish the links to the Microsoft training sites, videos, so you can share it with your team. If somebody has a question on how do I go out and do this call, how do I do meetings, there's short little videos out there, video tutorials that will walk you through this. Great resources from Microsoft. It's all free. And then in addition, like I said, I'll publish the bookings page where you can reach out to me one-on-one afterwards as well. Be more than happy to answer your questions and make sure you're able to use this tool to its fullest for you and your organization. Over here on the left, one of the other tabs is the Files tabs. And what this is showing me is basically recently files that I've worked with, regardless of the channel that they're in. It does show you the location. You can go over here and go back and edit these files in Teams, open them in the browser, open the file in the desktop app, download them, grab a link to it, send that link to somebody else. Again, a lot of different ways to collaborate with your team and your organization. Down here at the bottom, add cloud storage. You do have the ability to add in different online cloud storage applications. Now, again, this can be controlled by your team's administrator. So he may not allow Dropbox or he may not allow ShareFile. So there are restrictions that can be put on at the organization level. And depending on how many tabs you want to have over here on the left-hand side, you do have the ability to go in and add different apps. You can add in shifts. This is great for first-line workers, manufacturing, warehousing. You can create shift schedules out here, something that's easily visible throughout the entire team and organization as far as who's working what shift, change shifts around. You have the ability to allow workers to clock in and out from their mobile device. So if you're looking for a ad hoc timesheet or time clock type application, this might apply to your organization. So you have different groups of folks in here as well. The managers, store associates. Again, this can apply to warehousing, really geared towards that first line worker mentality. And there are hundreds of apps available. We won't delve into them all. A lot of them do take customization, but Zoom, which has obviously become popular over the last few weeks. Some people have never heard about Zoom, have heard more about Zoom in the last week than they have the last few years. Cisco WebEx, another add-in that you can use if you're using Cisco WebEx maybe for public meetings. You can get that add-in and link it into here as well. Really just kind of depends on what you're looking to do. Some of these other third-party apps have great little plugins to get that information into your team or into your channel without having to hop outside of Teams and go and find it. A lot of great apps out here, and Microsoft keeps working with the software vendors and adding more and more constantly.